just the bottom line is, you know, a lot of people are still going through a lot of stuff. And I thought, Lord, how can you help us tonight? What would be your will? I try to find the mood of the Spirit, and I'll tell you the word that came on my comfort. I think every once in a while we need God to just wrap His arms around us. You know that? Amen. Comfort us and let us know that everything's going to be okay. It doesn't feel that way right now, but listen, everything's going to be okay. Someone sent me a text message. I don't know if they're tuned in tonight, but actually a Facebook message. And they were just in the pit of despair. Said, I can hardly get out of bed. Is there any hope? I said, oh, take courage. There is hope. Yes. Jesus is going to see us through. We're going to be okay. But it doesn't always feel that way. I know that. I'm sensitive to it. I feel that way sometimes. So here's what I want to do. I just want to start out with, I know we already started out with the chorus, but I want to sing just the chorus of Blessed Assurance. And then we're going to sing a congregational song. But whatever key it's in, you know, put it high enough for me. I'm kidding. Just find the good key. And can we just sing the chorus of Blessed Assurance tonight? Can we start that way? Sing with me. Stand with me. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Let's sing it again. Yes, this is my story. Oh, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story. Yes, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. I think we'd better sing the first verse, hadn't we? Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine, heir of salvation, purchase of God, born of His Spirit, washed in His blood. For this is my story, yes, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Oh, this is my story, yes, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Praise God. Now I want you to take your Sing the Lord songbook, and I want you to turn to song number 362. And I want us to sing this great song together. It's good to know that we belong to God. You know that? We belong to Jesus tonight. I belong to the King. I'm a child of His love. I shall dwell in His palace so fair. For He tells of its bliss in yon heaven above, and His children in splendor shall share. Here's verse 2. I belong to the King, and He loves me, I know. For His mercy and kindness so free are unceasingly mine wheresoever I go. And my refuge unfailing is He. Amen? Let's sing it together tonight. I belong to the King. I'm a child of His love. I shall dwell in His palace touch our hearts in this prayer meeting. Oh God, touch our online audience tonight, those who couldn't make it to church but are tuned in. God, touch them and help them tonight. Lord Jesus, encourage our hearts that you are still God of all gods and King of all kings and Lord of all lords, and you are still in control, and you always will be in this old world in which we live. And oh God, encourage us tonight. Now Lord, we pray for our regular church family that's on vacation or not able to be here. Touch them tonight. Be with them and help them. But oh God, make this Wednesday night prayer meeting everything you want it to be tonight, and touch each one of us and help us. In Jesus' name I pray, and all God's people said, Amen. Amen. You may be seated. Well, we've got some kids fighting the flu, and so we have a wonderful Greater Vision Junior Trio tonight. Isn't that awesome? We've got Rodney Griffin Jr. and Chris Allman Jr. and John Epley Jr. And here they are. If you want to hear the kids' choir, the kids' trio, the men's, the boys' trio sing, would you say amen? Amen. God bless them. That's Gerald playing again. That's old Gerald playing again. change I have ever heard in my life. That was awesome. I loved it. Boys, I think I want to try that sometime. Can Pastor Don sit down and sing like that? Would that be okay? Okay, you're not your head yes and then changed your mind and said no, but I didn't think I ought to give that a shot sometime. Thank you. That was good singing. If you appreciated that, say amen. 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 Well, let's have some testimonies tonight. And both of my mic holders are out of Lee, do you want to help me over here? Brother Ronnie, do you mind helping me over here? I'd love to hear you testify tonight. Tell us what the Lord is doing for you and how he's helping you or how you want him to help you. So who would like to be first to testify? Josh, when you stood up, we thought you were going to testify. Get your way. Help yourself, sister.
I just want to praise the Lord for getting an answer to prayer this week. And sometimes it comes in ways that you don't know. But when you pray and you give it to God, he definitely takes care of things. And what I like to do is learn to trust him more. Oh, for grace to trust him more. And I'm thankful that I am a child of the King. I wouldn't want to be in another place than the center of his will.
Amen. Praise God. Who's next? Sister Paula.
I love the Lord, and today, the 22nd of September, is my 31st spiritual birthday.
Praise
and
God.
You wanted to know what God has done for me? He keeps on doing so much for me,
Amen.
and I just want to be sure and tell people about that too. And I'm hearing a lot of what he's doing for people. He still is working.
Yes, he is.
And I love him, and I know he will continue.
Amen. Praise God. Sister Paula, happy birthday to you. That's a wonderful, wonderful anniversary to celebrate. 31 years ago. Praise God. Amen. Thank the Lord. Who's next? Sister Trish.
So I was thinking about what set us apart from the unsaved. But one verse came to mind. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed.
Praise God. That is so good.
And I thought about how appropriate that was for this time that we are
Absolutely.
in. And it really blessed my heart. And I thank God for his care and his love for us every day.
Thank the Lord. Thank you for sharing that. That is a good promise. Amen. Who's next? Brother Terry, I think you're starting to get up. You've got the fall jacket out. I'm fighting the temptation, but now you've got me in the mood. So,
I just want to say that I'm blessed.
Amen.
Every Sunday when I go home, I go by in my neighborhood, and a lot of them are not the holiness persuasion. They're out working and doing things like that, and it breaks my heart. And I want to, grab them all together and tell them about what it really takes to get to heaven. Some of them, they just don't hear the truth. They just hear what their parents have told them and kept going down through the lineage, and things like that. But it's worthwhile to know that there is a way that we're going to have to take without holiness. And I think to myself, some people don't even know what the word means, what it refers to. So we in here in our church are blessed to know that, because we can know that we can make it to heaven. And they're hoping they can make it to heaven. So I'm glad tonight that the Lord is real, and that I love him tonight. I'm glad that he saw fit to call me to be one of his children.
Amen. Amen. Praise God. Praise God. Who's next? Yes, ma'am.
So a lot of times I try to read the Bible, and I try to read until I find something that just really talks to me. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but this time I started in Daniel 1:17. It says, "As for these 4 children, God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams." And I was thinking about that, just thinking about God gave them these things, and these are things that if God didn't if God didn't verbally tell you, would we know that he gave them to us? How many things has he given us? If I had a skill in something, I would think it was me. I would take credit for that. And in this verse, it just says God gave them these skills. And I just want to make sure that anything that I have, any skills, any knowledge, any wisdom, anything that God has given me, that I give him the credit for it.
Amen.
And I don't take that myself. And just going into Thanksgiving, I'm just so thankful for the things
Amen. Amen. Praise God. Who's next? We are off to a good start tonight. Yes, sir.
Well, if I heard her read that scripture right, they gotta have one more kid. Then after 4 kids.
Oh.
So, maybe not. We started tonight singing the song, boy, and it left me, that's terrible. The chorus, this is my story. And I often think, when Paul showed up to testify in the second person tonight, I thought I can remember the first day she walked into this church, and she was a mess. But you know what? God loved her.
Yes, he did.
God saved her. And I can remember a few years ago, we were singing that song one Sunday morning in the choir as a special. And I'd asked 3 of the people that I knew that had a special story. And during the chorus where we sang, "This is my story," Paula gave her testimony. And it touched me then, and it touches me now to realize 31 years later, God is still our Savior. He loves her.
That's right.
Sometimes I don't know what to say. I usually don't have a loss for words, but sometimes you don't know how to pray. And when you get to that point, it's tough. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to ask for. You really don't know what's right. I mean, in a sense, for this situation. And Donna mentioned a little bit, but we had a situation last week that was just tough. And we went to bed two different nights, just our hearts aching. And the person kept called us 56 times. 2 days. I didn't answer the phone. But we prayed. We held hands one night and prayed and asked God, we don't know what to pray. We don't know what the right thing is. And so after 56 times, I answered the phone. And the person on the other end told me how God worked everything out. I couldn't have done it if I tried. I had no way of figuring it out and making it all work out. But God did.
That's right.
And He knows exactly what we need, when we need it. And I'm just amazed at His love for us so much that even when we don't know what to say, He can take our heart, He can read our heart and know that we want what's best for those around about us. And I love Him tonight.
Praise God.
Amen.
Praise God. Sister Shirley.
My heart was overjoyed today. In class, one of the boys said to me, when he was reading to me, he stopped and he said, I pray every day.
Mm.
And that blessed my heart.
Amen.
I love him tonight with all my heart.
Praise God. Praise God. Who's next? These are good testimonies. Anyone else?
From the base, I've been thinking this has been a very trying time for all of us. For many of us, our hearts ache. I've shed a lot of tears. Loved ones passing away, deep, close friends dying, and some of them even laid close to death tonight. And we just don't know. We don't understand. And I went to inquire about planning my funeral. That's not an exciting thing, but on a document it asked about what songs would you like sung at your funeral. But that's a real question. All the songs that I've heard down through the years, what songs would I like to have sung? And And I've thought about that, and there's a song, I don't know if many have heard it, it's called New Grace. And I'd like to just read some words to it. It was my mother's favorite, I think one of her favorite songs. And don't you know that these aggravating thugs, I want to throw that. I had this up here. I had this up here, and you know it's gone. Just, I'll tell you what. And these aggravating glasses. When you get old, I heard a guy say something about his false teeth wouldn't work, but he said if my spectacles get in problem, he said I'm going to stomp them all. And I don't have any false teeth, thank God, but I do have these. But anyway, back to my story. New Grace. Listen to the words of this song. All of grace is my story, all the way from earth to glory. Since by grace he lifted me from sin and woe, living grace he has extended, as on him my heart depended. He'll give new grace when it's my time to go. Amen. Grace, the chorus says, grace not yet discovered, grace not yet uncovered, grace from his bountiful store, grace to cross the river, grace to face forever. But there'll be new grace I've not needed before. There's been grace for every mile, there's been grace for every trial. There's been grace sufficient from his vast supply. Grace to make my heart more tender. Grace to love and pray for sinners. But there'll be new grace when it's my time to die. Amen. It's the truth, grace. That one word. John Newton said, amazing grace. When you review your life and you look back over these nearly 75 years and you think of incidences and occasions and happenings, and you just have to write grace.
That's right.
Grace. God's grace.
That's right.
And I'm trusting him for grace. I don't know what the future holds. As I said, some of our loved ones have gone, and there'll be a day when I'll have to cross that river. I may be sick, lying there, but I want God to give me the grace as he's done in the past.
Praise God.
For the future.
Absolutely.
Oh, amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Thank the Lord.
That saved a wretch like me.
Praise God.
I once was lost, but today I've been found.
Praise God.
I once was blind, but now I see.
Praise
I understand when people say, I just don't see it. I understand. They've never had grace open their eyes and they can see the truth of the glorious gospel and all of the ramifications. But if they come to know Jesus, amen. You know, as old brother Trueblood used to say, God will put a little holy eye salve on your eyes and open your eyes that you can see. I love him today.
Praise God.
Through all the dangers, toils, and snares I have already come.
Praise God.
His grace has brought me safe thus far.
Amen.
And grace will lead me home.
Praise God. Praise God. Blake.
Well, I'm grateful that we have a God that protects us and that loves us. I saw a picture the other day online of a man that was diving into the Word, and as he was diving into the Word, angels started to appear around him, and every single one of them was holding a sword, protecting him from the powers of darkness. And a scripture that's been on my mind today, for thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, the glory and the lifter of my head. And I can't tell you how many times I thought, I don't know how in the world a car comes flying by driving like an idiot, and I just think, thank God that we have angels. The Word says And he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up, lest thou cast thy foot against a stone. And I'm so grateful for a God that cares so much for us.
Praise God. Amen. Praise God. Sister Paul.
Well, I just think about what you said earlier about Jesus knows just what we need. We've been thinking that all week. And he does know. Bill likes us to ask.
That's right. Yes, he does. He does know what we need, but he does want us to ask. That's absolutely right. Anyone else? Brother Josh.
I just want to praise God tonight for who he is, that his character is never changing, that his love never fails, and his mercy endures forever. We can rest on every one of the promises that he's given us.
Praise God. Praise God. Thank the Lord. I'm so glad y'all are back from your wanderings. Don't go again. Okay. Courtney. I remember your name, Courtney.
I just want to say how much I love the Lord tonight. I want to thank him for his many answers to prayer. I've been praying lately to help my children to grow the right way, help me to teach them the way they need to go. And tonight it just blessed my heart, and Clark just looked at me and said, Mommy, I'm going to go to church tonight. And I said, okay, buddy, let's go. And I just want to thank him for everything he does for me.
Praise God. Thanks the Lord. Sister Gloria, Lee, can you get racing up here so she doesn't have to stand too terribly long? I'm so glad you're here tonight.
I felt like I had to be in church tonight.
I hear you.
I'll be flying out tomorrow to go to my son's funeral down in Georgia. But you know, I don't know how anyone gets through this stuff without the love of the Lord. Because he's been right with me through it all. He's right there with me. My heart is breaking as far as my son is concerned. I'm going to miss him. But I know I'm going to see him again one day. Because I know that big old boy is up there in heaven. And I told my brother, who just died 3 weeks ago, and I told my brother, I said, you just put your big old arms around Jeff and tell him that you're glad to see him there. Welcome him to heaven. But I tell you, when you get to this age, it's really hard to lose one of your children. It's hard. And I've lost 2 of them now, and I think, oh, my dear Lord, how much more do you want from me? Take me home, it's okay. And he told me, then the Holy Spirit just came to me and he said, we need your prayer.
Mm-hmm. We sure do.
Just as simple as that, we need your prayer. So I'm still here because I got to pray for everybody.
Yes, you do.
If I quit praying, then maybe I can go home, huh?
Don't stop
But I
praying.
can't do that. I can't quit praying. I got these 2 boys of mine into heaven. I mean, I got them in to the Holy, I got them in and accepting Jesus Christ because of prayer. So I'm going to keep praying. But,
Amen.
I tell you, it's just, I appreciate all your prayers tomorrow, and it's Saturday's funeral, and it's going to be a hard thing to go through. But we're going to make it. Because he's in a better place. He's not suffering anymore. But just keep us in your prayers.
We sure will. We sure will. I know every hand will go up, but how many are going to join me in praying for Sister Gloria for the next several days, especially look all around this church. Every hand is up. We're going to be praying for you. We're going to ask the Lord to be with you and help you. Anyone else? Brother Rod.
Tonight, they say I'm retired. I guess that's what they call it. I don't know. I was thinking about my journey, you know. A lot of you folks don't know my journey. Started out, everybody has a story. I wasn't saved very long, and I was out passing out tracts and talking to people about Jesus. And I go down this same street, and I walk past this tavern, and I'll say, Jesus, save me from that. I walked past one time, and the Lord said, I want you to go in there. And I said, oh, I don't know if I want to go in there. And I walked in there, and I was passing out tracts, And this guy stood up and he said, what do you think you're doing? I said, I'm advertising Jesus Christ as my personal Savior. He said, he picked a beer can up and he threw that beer can at me. And I just stood there, the beer ran off of me, and I just said, Lord, I just want to do this for your glory and for your love. I just turned around and walked out, and when I walked out, the bartender said, don't come back in here. I said, I'll be back. I'm coming back. And I was out, passed out tracks, and I walked past that bar, and I walked in there, and that same guy was sitting there, and he was drunk. And he stood up, and when he stood up, he grabbed for that beer can. When he did, I just grabbed him in a headlock, and I got him on the ground, and I started praying for him. And I said, Jesus Christ loves you, my friend. He wants to save you and deliver you from this life. And I started preaching to him. But you know, I don't know if the guy ever got saved or not, but I minded God. And I was reading about Moses had passed off the scene, and Joshua had come on, and the reins was handed to him, and he took off, and he just minded God, and God helped him. I appreciate the journey that God's given me. I thank you for the grace He supplied. I tell He supplies every need. I love Him tonight. I was at a closing, and the attorney said, well, pass me a check. And he said, well, you're a rich man now, Mr. Moore. He said, how's it feel? And I said, well, I'm going to tell you. I can tell you through the years that this doesn't amount to anything when Jesus Christ in 1978 on March 11th delivered me from sin. I have fallen short, but oh, God's grace has been there for me and helped me. And I appreciate Him tonight, and I love Him.
Praise God. Amen. Thank the Lord. Sister Ruby.
We didn't sing that one verse of Blessed Assurance, but I love that verse. It says, perfect submission, all is at rest. I and my Savior are happy and blessed, watching and waiting, looking above, filled with His goodness, lost in His love.
Praise God.
And I'm so thankful for a Savior that never, ever, ever fails.
Praise God.
Praise His precious name tonight.
Praise God. I think we do need to sing that verse. Go ahead, Brother Ronnie.
Yeah, just real quick, and I won't take nothing away from anybody else, but I hope you looked at your Facebook page recently, because the Gardeners had a nice post on there about Brielle.
Yes.
And it's a wonderful answer to prayer. And I won't try to say it all, I'll get all messed up. But God answers prayer. We've been praying for that little girl since I first met her. And everybody, I think, has fallen in love with that little girl. Yeah. And I appreciate what God answers prayer. Some of you might have saw, I know Blake did, on YouTube, they had a picture of a woman over in Virginia. She ran into flooded waters. And all of a sudden, she looks up, and here comes 4 big Marines in their dress blues. And to push her out. Well, what I found out since then, that girl was in her car praying, oh God, help me, what am I going to do? And God sent the United States Marines in to help her. God will answer His prayer. Whoever He has to get to see that done, He will do it. I love Him for answering prayer.
Praise God. Thank the Lord. We should sing that verse of Blessed Assurance. Perfect submission, all is at rest. I in my Savior am happy and blessed, watching and waiting, looking above, filled with His goodness, lost in His love. For this is my story, yes, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. I want Lee to keep playing that. And I want to talk to you a minute before we pray. And we have several things to pray about tonight. But I felt like yesterday I was sitting in the funeral of 61-year-old Steve Stetler. Still can't hardly believe it. pastor in charge asked us all to stand, and he said, I want us all, there are about 400 people there, he said, I want us all to pray for Beth and Maria and Kent and Brian and Janann, their family. He said, I want us to specifically take a moment and pray for them. And while we were praying, I felt like the Lord showed me something that I had never really realized. The official title of the Holy Spirit, you know what it is? Comforter. It is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter cannot come. Amen. I love to preach about the Holy Spirit as the cleanser and as the convictor, and He's those things. But Jesus specifically, capital C in our King James Bible, Jesus specifically said the official title of the Holy Spirit is He is the Comforter. I took solace in that. I took new courage in that. I took new grace in that. That in the midst of every stress and strain of life, Sister Gloria, I don't know how you're going to do it. I'm worried sick. I hope you have someone going with you. But I'm worried sick about you going. But she's going to do it. She's going to fly to Georgia. She's going to be there to lay her son to rest. Paula Rytell's sister's in the hospital. We're going to anoint Paula here in a moment. Donna's in bad shape, needs a touch from God. The Stetler family. You know, Steve was 61 years old. Jeff Stice, his family, he was 61 years old. Her son was 57. Bobby Davis used to pastor in this area, 66 years old. He's gone. Well, how do we survive? I'll tell you how we survive. The Comforter. The Comforter has come. The Comforter. In every situation you go through, you need to understand something. You have a Comforter. You have a Comforter. What's a Comforter do? He wraps his arms around us and He comforts us. And He lets us know it's going to be okay. But it's not okay, Pastor Don. No, it's not. But the Comforter will let us know it's going to be okay. And I'm grateful tonight for the Holy Spirit. I'm grateful to be reminded that Jesus specifically titled Him the Comforter. And I want us to pray for these tonight. I just want to quickly remind you, there's a birthday card for Raymond Shreve. If you haven't signed it, please sign it tonight. And Mary Carpenter's going to mail it tomorrow. I saw Brother Shreve at the funeral yesterday and had a moment to talk to him. I told him I couldn't wait for him to come back and speak to us again. But please do that. Let's pray for Steve Powell tonight as well. That God would help him. And let's pray for the flu bug is going around. And it has hit our family. So please pray for the twins tonight. That God would touch them and help them. And I have again an unspoken request that a person that lives in the area, I can't tell you the name, but a person that needs the Lord, needs a physical touch, needs a spiritual touch. I wish you would remember this situation in prayer. And let's do, Sister Russell, why don't you come sit would you mind coming and sit on the front row and let us pray for you tonight? Paula, why don't you join her? We're going to anoint Paula for her sister Donna tonight. And we're just going to lift these requests to God. Folks, I'm going to tell you, Jesus is the answer, and He has the answers. We don't. I live frustrated sometimes because I wish I could fix everything. I can't fix it, but I can trust in the Comforter to help us, and I know that He will. So let's gather in, and let's those of you that want to gather around the altar, and maybe you've got a burden tonight that you need to let God have. You give submit that to God tonight as we pray. And then those of you that want, let's gather around Paula and gather around Sister Russell. Let's just all lift our voices together tonight in prayer. And let's ask God to help us this evening. Oh, Jesus, thank you that you're here. For Jim and Donna both. Okay. All right. I'll anoint you for both of them. Lord Jesus, thank you that you're here tonight. Thank you that we sense your presence in our midst this evening. We're grateful the Comforter has come. We're grateful the Comforter is here tonight to meet our needs. Oh God, we have a lot of needs tonight. Lord Jesus, it's such an unbelievable season. It's as if it's a nightmare that will never end. Oh God, we pray that you would hasten the day that this scourge would leave us, Lord. We pray that you would touch people tonight and help them. We pray you comfort people's nerves and hearts. And Lord, tonight we're anointing Paula in behalf of Jim and Donna tonight. And so we anoint her with only Jesus' name. And oh God, we ask that you reach out to them just now and help them. God, Donna's in the hospital. She desperately needs a touch from you. Jesus, help her tonight, I pray, and touch her for Jesus' sake. And God, touch Jim tonight and help him and raise him up as well. And oh God, we pray that healing virtue would course through their bodies tonight, and that you would touch them and help them. Jesus, we believe you tonight. Lord, we need your help. We desperately ask for your help tonight. We're trusting you. We're believing you tonight. And we pray that you would intervene. Now, Lord Jesus, oh God, our hearts are heavy for Sister Gloria. Oh God, we were there today. She laid her daughter to rest. Oh God, we remember that service. Oh Jesus, we wish we could be with her in Georgia. Oh God, would you touch her tonight, I pray. Lord Jesus, this lady doesn't have a lot of physical strength. Lord, she needs you. She's going to get on an airplane tomorrow and fly to Georgia. Lord God, please give her strength, I pray. Oh God, the grace that Brother Carpenter talked about tonight. Lord, she's going to need grace the next 2 days that she's never needed before. But oh God, give her of your grace, I pray. And be with her, dear Lord, and comfort her heart. And I pray the Holy Spirit would be with her and touch her and help her, blessed Jesus. Oh God, be with her, I pray, for Jesus' sake. And now, Lord, we lift all of these other requests to you tonight. God, you know every need. Lord, there are people here tonight carrying burdens. God, I pray for that individual that reached out to me on Facebook today that's struggling emotionally and fighting depression and feels like there's no end to heartache and sadness. Oh God, please comfort her heart tonight, I pray. And touch her and lift her up, blessed Jesus. And I pray for this individual in the Indianapolis area that needs a touch from you tonight. Oh God, reach out to them and help them, I pray. I pray for others that are battling bad nerves and battling financial difficulties. Lord, you know people that are struggling financially. God, please help them tonight, I pray, blessed Jesus. And touch them and intervene for them, I pray. Oh God, move in our midst and help us, blessed Jesus. Lord Jesus, help us this weekend. Give us a great day on Sunday. Minister to our hearts and meet our every need. We're believing you and trusting you. In Jesus' blessed name I pray. Amen. Amen. Praise God. God bless you. You're dismissed. Thank you for coming tonight. So I think that's Spencer Reckenwald, isn't it? Spencer, good to have you tonight. Is it Spencer? Right? Glad to have you with us, bro. Glad you're here. God bless you all.
Yeah.